We leave Inverness and cross the Kessock Bridge to the Black Isle. We take the first exit off the road to the village of North Kessock. The bridge replaced the ferry a number of years ago. This ferry was regarded as one of the safest in Scotland at the time. The village of North Kessock was once an important transport ferry terminal. Today the cottages along the shore seem a little at odds with the towering suspension bridge overhead. A vitrified fort is atop the wooded hill behind the village, which is obscured by trees. Leaving North Kessock, follow the shore to the Anchor and Chain Hotel and Waterside Restaurant, which is located at Coolmore Bay, along a stretch of road that hugs the coast for about 2 miles. It enjoys magnificent views over the Firth to Inverness, and as you round the estuary over the Bewley Firth, with the hills of Strathconnan and Ercles Forest as a backcloth. Within the foreground, if you're lucky, perhaps seals will be basking, ospreys fishing, or even dolphins playing. The restaurant is open for a range of teas, coffees, light lunches and an evening menu based on fresh local meat and fish. A little distance on and the road passes Redcastle. The castle was last inhabited in the 1950s. Until that point it had been one of the oldest continuously inhabited strongholds in Scotland. The original castle of Eredur was built here in 1179 by David, brother of William the Lion. It passed to the Mackenzies in the 17th century, and additions were made by William Byrne in 1840, whose baronial style gained inspiration from exactly this type of medieval structure. The rose-red ruins can be glimpsed through the trees. Its former policies were modelled on an old French chateau with terraces, protected from the Firth by an old ivy-clad wall. The ruins are dangerous and private. A small cluster of cottages today forms the little community of Redcastle. From here we travel on to the main road and head east to a roundabout and take the road to Torr. At the hamlet we head south towards the Black Isle Brewery. The Black Isle is not an island but a peninsula between the Bewley and Cromarty Firths. It was called Black because it seldom takes the white of winter snow. It's composed of rich farmland with some forestry on the central ridge. The old name for the Black Isle was Ardmennach, a name the central wooded ridge still bears. The lordship was granted to Lord Darnley by Mary Queen of Scots. The red kite has been successfully reintroduced to this area in recent years. The forked tail and spectacular flight will tell you when you're lucky enough to see one. The children's kite is named after this rare bird of prey's effortless flight. The name has also been given to a chalet-style caravan located at Struan, Red Kite Holidays. We pass this a couple of miles after leaving Torr at the junction to the brewery. This is available for let, offering 3 bedrooms, living area, kitchen and bathroom. In 1790, Sir Roderick Mackenzie of Allen Grange wrote a statistical account which first mentioned the superb quality of the malting barley hereabouts. During renovations of old Allen Grange, remnants of brewing, including a rare bottle seal, were found, which encouraged the establishment of the Black Isle Brewery in 1998. The range of beers brewed here are popular throughout the Highlands. Enjoy a free tour and see the beers being crafted. Purchase a bottle or 2 from the brewery shop. We travel on past Manlochy and Och to Fortrose. Here, Ardagh Bed and Breakfast on the High Street offers a double, twin and single rooms and ample parking at the rear, overlooking the picturesque ruined cathedral set amongst spacious grounds. It was in the grounds of the cathedral that in 1880 a hoard of gold coins from the time of Robert III were unearthed. The cathedral was founded by King David I and is the final resting place of the Seaforth family, whose demise the Bran seer famously predicted. At Shannonry Point, the site of Bran Castle, the Countess of Seaforth in 1660 had Kenneth Mackenzie, the Bran seer, put to death by having him thrown headfirst into a barrel of boiling tar. His final prediction was that when a hearing and speech-impaired earl inherited the estate, the Seaforth line would end. This came true in 1815. His offence to suffer such a terrible death? Because the Countess was worried about the late return of the Earl from a visit to France, sent for the seer, demanded to know if he could see anything, and reluctantly he told her that he had seen the Earl in the arms of another woman. We leave Fortrose and Rosemarkie and cross some fertile farmland to Cromarty. Scotland's smallest ferry, just 2 cars, still crosses the Cromarty Firth, as ferries have for centuries, as this was the crossing point on the pilgrimage trail to St Duthas's shrine in Tain. Hugh Miller was born here. His thatched cottage is now a National Trust property. A stonemason and self-taught geologist who achieved international status for his discoveries and classifications of fossils of primitive fishes found hereabouts. Miller committed suicide at his Edinburgh home on Christmas Eve 1856. A deeply religious man, some say it was the conflict between religion and science that prompted him to end his life. Sir Thomas Urquhart, a local laird, who they say traced his ancestry back to Adam, died of laughter upon hearing of the restoration of Charles II. He also thought up a universal language and translated Rabelais, all this way back in the 1670s. Another laird, George Ross, founded a hemp mill here, starting a period of prosperity for the town. It lost much of its trade with the arrival of rail. A branch line was started but never completed, and Cromarty became somewhat of a backwater. The Georgian houses and workers' cottages, as a result, have remained quite unchanged. Here you will find the Emporium, a bookshop with a difference. As well as new and second-hand books, they have a wide range of unusual greeting cards and postcards, gifts, jewellery and toys. This can all be enjoyed over a cafetiere of coffee, pots of tea and delicious hot chocolate in the cafe. From here we hug the coast as we head west, travelling above Cromarty Bay, with Invergordon across the Cromarty Firth. Avoid the bridge and stay on the coast road that travels alongside the Firth, and as you leave the Black Isle you arrive at Conan Bridge and onwards to Muir of Ord.